The government has updated its website. As you all know, today is the 11th of March. Now, before you go, pushing your blood pressure up, getting worried and all of that, having anxiety and all, please listen. Now, before I continue with this conversation, let me state here categorically that I do not work for the Home Office in any way, shape, or form. But if you ask me, what they have done today is what has been done since December 4th, I think. It's just that they have put it down in plain language and they have given examples. So if you have SOC 6145 or 6146, you need to listen attentively. But if your SOC code is 6143, which means that you're a dentist nurse, or 6141, which means you work for the NHS as a nursing auxiliary, you are exempted. So please don't go fretting if you have that code 6141. You are fine. My name is Kesienaakwaraatie, a health and social care trainer. To all my old and new returning subscribers, thank you all so much for your love and support. And hey, if you're just watching this channel for the first time, go and smash the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up by liking the video. And don't forget to click on that all-important notification bell. So whenever I upload a new video, you will be among the very first to know. Alright? Freely connect with me on Instagram, Care by Cares, TikTok, Caring Cares. So let's get straight into it, okay? Now, I have had people calling me this morning. I have my iPad here. I've had people calling me this morning asking questions about the Home Office, the decision rather. People are getting unnecessarily worked up. And please don't. Okay, because man-made rules can be broken by man. So please calm down and let's do this together. Okay, so here it goes. Now, if you have, this is the document from the Home Office website. Okay, this is a 38-page document. And so we'll start from page 8. Okay, where it says that if you have been in this care route previously and you applied for your sponsorship, you made the application might have been made before today, but you haven't gotten your COS. It says you are fine. Let me read it out to you. It says here, to be eligible for this exemption, the lead applicant's original application date must have been before 11th March 2024, which is today. Now, even if that application was not granted, even if that application was granted after 11th March, and whether or not the dependents applied at the same time. So if you have applied before today and you haven't received your course, you are fine. Okay, so please don't fret. All right. Now, if you have a dependent child who was born in the UK, the child can apply. Now, they have broken this explanation into examples. You have the examples using with Migrant A. Now, it says that if Migrant A has been sponsored as a care worker with their partner and child since 10 January 2022, that dependents can continue to apply as such. What does that mean? It means that if you have your COS since 10th of January 2022, you are fine. I mean, this started in 2021 December, isn't it? So you are fine if you have your COS from the 10th of January 2022. It goes on further to say that Migrant B, second example. Migrant B has been sponsored as a care worker since 25th of November 2023, last year, but had not applied for their partner or children. They can make an application for their dependents to join them at any time during their period of leave. The same thing applies, just as it applied to those who had it since 10th of January 2022. The same applies to those who have theirs since November 25th. You can still bring in your dependents. Now let's look at Migrant C. Migrant C has been sponsored as a nursing auxiliary. So that means that he or she had a SOC code 6141 since July 10, 2023. But switches to being a senior care worker with an application made on 15th March 2024. Their dependents will not be allowed to make applications in connection with their leave as a senior carer. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you're in the NHS as an auxiliary, a nursing auxiliary, and you say, okay, listen, I can't cope with the NHS anymore, I want to leave to become a senior carer, you cannot carry your dependents along with you, period. So here is the thing. If any NHS, please stay there. Do not switch to any other visa. Stay there. That is where it's most secure, if you ask me. Okay? Then we'll go on to Migrant D. Now, Migrant D has been a student since 1st September 2021, then switches to being a care worker, having completed their course. With an application made on 1st April 2024, their dependents will not be allowed to make applications in connection with their leave as a care worker. Now, previously, we were seeing cannot bring. So this says will not be allowed to make. So if you're a student rather, and you have just, maybe you finish your course today, or you're going to finish at the end of this month or April, and you have your family here with you, what they are saying there is that you cannot make an application for your dependents to remain with you in the UK. They have removed the words like bring and stay. They are saying here that will not be allowed to make applications. So bear that in mind. Now, to solve all of this issue, I would rather, if you're a student and you're the main applicant, your wife is your dependent, or your spouse is your dependent, it's better you both go look for your own COSs. That's the best option right now. Okay? And then you're asking, what about the children? We'll get to that. Now you go on to the Migrant E. Now, Migrant E in this instance has been sponsored as a care worker since the 1st of June 2023, but switches to being a senior care worker with an application made on 25th of March 2024. Their dependents can make an application. Okay? So you see, so if you're a care worker in the UK since the 1st of June 2023, and maybe you switch or you become promoted to become a senior care worker, your dependents can still apply. Or should I say, still make an application. Does that make any sense? I think this is very clear, isn't it? Now, let's go to Migrant F. Now, Migrant F switches from being the dependent partner of a student to being a senior care worker with an application made on the 10th of March, which was yesterday. Their partner can apply as their dependent, subject to course completion requirements. So if you are here on a student visa, you brought your spouse, and then your spouse got a course before 10th of March, which was yesterday, you are not affected. You can still switch to becoming their dependent, if that makes any sense. All right. I think this is very, very, very explicit if you ask me. Okay. Then you have for children. Now, it says that for relatives like your grandparents, parents, they cannot apply as your dependents. Now, it says here for children who are 18 years or older on the date of application, who have not previously been granted permission as a dependent of a lead applicant, cannot be granted permission as a dependent. Now, having said that, they also have exceptional dependent applications. Now, I read it to you. Where there are exceptional, compelling, and compassionate circumstances raised on behalf of a dependent who cannot meet the requirements to be granted entry, clearance, permission, or settlement as a partner or child of a lead applicant, you must consider that application outside the immigration rules. Okay? So that is what it is. Now, of course, this includes children from previous relationships. Say you were married before, or you had a child with somebody before, and the child is not with you, it's with that person. You can apply to bring them in. But the only condition is that whoever your spouse is must give their consent, okay, for you to bring them in. Now, I saw somewhere on TikTok, was it last week or so, somebody was saying that we have care workers here who are single parents, okay? And I believe that then in that report, the lady said that she would appreciate it if the government, gave them concession. Now, all these things fall under what? The exceptional circumstances. So it's not going to be an umbrella thing for everybody. It's going to be case by case, if that makes any sense. So if you have a child who's older than 18 and you can prove that you are still solely responsible for that child, you can make a case for yourself, if that makes any sense. And so if previously you have discarding your bills and everything, put all your bank statements together where you have been disbursing money to this child, which shows that you are still, responsible for them. Now, if your child is with somebody, maybe the father or the mother of the child who is not with you here in the UK, and you can show transactions you have given for the child's upkeep, you can still follow that exceptional, cases, which I think is more implied here. Because at the end of the day, the UK is a family-oriented society, okay? And in any situation you find yourself in these exceptional cases, the best interest of the child is priority. And I believe they will do what's the best interest of the child. So whatever goes for A will not go for B in the exceptional cases. It's a case-by-case application. And they're going to assess each application outside of the immigration rules. So what am I saying in effect? Don't stress yourself. Does that make any sense? Don't stress yourself. Don't give yourself high blood pressure. Because the truth is that the government is also aware that care workers need their families to fall back on as a support system. And like I said, the government is human. They will listen to the cries of the people to say, please let us bring our children at least and our spouses to help us. So don't despair just yet. Keep hope alive. I believe there's something good coming out of all of this. All right? So until I see you in my next video, guys, always remember this. Never you forget that no matter what the matter is, you matter so much more. Over.